and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I'm Casey, and today this is the multi-strand bracelet that I will be making. Most of the parts for this bracelet came from Didi's Deluxe bead box, and I absolutely love the way this bracelet came out. I am super excited about it, and if you are interested in Didi's Deluxe bead box, I will have all of the information in the description box below. So I highly recommend that you go to their website and you check it out. If you do that, you place an order, use my code. It is Casey15. And remember, I spell my name a little different. That's Kasi15. That code will give you 15% off your first order, and it applies to about 90% of their website. Like I said, highly recommend you go check it out. I will have all of the information in the description box below. So if you are curious how this bracelet came about, then stay tuned. All right, let's get right into it. So I'm gonna start by showing you the tools that I will be using. I will be using 2 sets of chain nose pliers, 1 set of cutters, and 1 set of crimping pliers. And I want to quickly mention my tool set. I also have my round nose pliers in here, but I will not be using these today. I highly recommend this tool set for a lot of reasons. It is very high quality, very well made. I use them all the time, almost every single day. The name of the tool set is Casual Comfort Tools, Casual Comfort Tools. And I'll have them linked down below, along with everything that I use that did not come from the bead box. The biggest thing I can say, other than these are so high quality, is they are very, very comfortable to use. A lot of times in the store, you will see tools like this that have very, very small grips, very small handles, and they definitely function. However, these tools actually have adult size grips, and they are exactly as the name says, very, very comfortable to use. When I found these tools, I just can't see ever using anything else, and I've used nothing else since. So again, I highly recommend these tools, but even if you don't get these, I just recommend investing in your tools. It can make a world of difference. I will also be using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright. I always get the 100 feet because I go through it so quickly, and that's that silver color. So the beads that I'm going to be using today, I'm going to be using the 8mm smooth matte black glass beads. I will also be using the 6mm high quality Mystic Aura moonstone beads, and one of the 18mm jet zebra striped peacock vitriol check glass coin beads. I just think these are absolutely beautiful. I'm also going to be using the 6mm antique silver textured wheel spacer beads. That is everything that I am using that came from the box, and from my own stash, I'm going to be using some 3mm rondelles. Also going to be using some 8/0 black seed beads. I'm going to use these flower shaped bead caps. I'm also going to be using these connectors. These have the 5 loops on one side for the end of this multi-strand bracelet. And then all the findings also come from my own stash. I have the crimp tubes, crimp covers, wire guardians, and jump rings. I have already cut a piece of wire. It is right at 12 inches, maybe a little bit over. I like to have a little bit of excess when I'm making this, so I have space to close it off on either end. So here is how I started off. On one end of the wire, I'm gonna put a crimp tube, and I'm gonna go ahead and point it out, and I'm so sorry, but at work today, I was holding a blue Sharpie, and of course I got it on my fingertip. I've scrubbed this finger multiple times, and that's as good as I can get it until it wears off. So yes, I am aware I have blue Sharpie on my fingertip. Let's try just to pretend that it's not there. Jump ring, wire guardian, we're gonna put it through one side, wrap it around, put it through the other. And you want to make sure that jump ring goes up inside the wire guardian. And the crimp tube has both sides of the wire going through it. So now I'm going to pinch that wire guardian closed with my fingers. Pull the longer piece so the tail isn't quite that long. All right, so now I'm going to try to hold that wire apart with my fingers, and I know it's a little awkward to see, but I'm going to hold that apart. Tug on that wire so it's snug, but the wires are still separated under my fingers. So now I'm going to go into that second divot on my crimping pliers. And then I'm going to give it a good smash. You have that taco shape. Turn it on its side. Go into that first divot. Give it another smash, and that gets it pretty good. But I like to go in with the flat part of my crimping pliers and give it that final smash. That way it is nice and snug. So now I'm going to hold that jump ring, and I'm going to take that crimp cover and put it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, and then flip it up just like that. Then I'm going to go in with my chain nose pliers, give it a gentle smash. Then I'm going to go front to back, give it another gentle smash. That way it gets that round shape. And so there it is. That is how we start each strand right there. So now it is just the order of the beads. So I'm going to start and end this strand with an 8/0 seed bead. So then I'm going to use one of the mystic beads, a spacer, bead cap facing up, matte black bead, bead cap facing down, spacer. And then at the other end, you want to go down and make sure that that tail is tucked in to all the beads, just like this. So here is the order, and we're going to repeat this 2 more times. All right, so here is one side. So as you can see, I repeated it 2 more times, and then I added an additional mystic bead. Okay, so that is this side. So now we have the center component. We're going to use the 3mm rondelle, the zebra pattern coin bead, and the other 3mm rondelle. So very simple center component, but very much a statement. I love that bead there. All right, so now we're gonna do this exact same pattern on this side over here. All right, so we'll meet back up to close it off, but we're putting this side over here, these beads in this order on this side. All right, so here it is. We've got the exact same pattern on this side as we did on the first side. So now we're gonna close it off. We're gonna put on a crimp tube, jump ring, and a wire guardian. Put it through one side, back around and through the other. And then make sure that that jump ring is up inside that guardian wire. And then both ends of that wire go through the crimp tube. All right, and I'm gonna squeeze that guardian wire closed with my fingers. All right, I'm gonna pull that one wire down a little bit, and I want it to go through the first couple of beads. And I'm gonna grab that jump ring and pull it nice and snug. So here's a good example of missing a bead. So I put it through all of the first beads except for that 8/0, so I've got to pull it back out. So you definitely have to make it through every one of these beads in the beginning. And grab onto that jump ring, and now you should be able to pull it nice and snug. Okay, so here's where I say, you want it to be snug, but not too snug. You want the bracelet to be flexible, okay? So don't just keep pulling it as far as you can. You want to move your bracelet around and make sure that it is nice and flexible. Otherwise, it just won't look right and it won't wear right. So now I'm going to take my crimping pliers and go in on that second divot. Give it a good smash so you get that taco. Turn it on its side. Go into that first divot. Give it another smash. and then go in with that flat part on the end, give it that final smash. You're going to take that crimp cover, place it right on top of that crimp tube, and flip it up. Then I'm going to go in with my chain nose pliers and give it a gentle smash. Then I'm going to take it front to back on that crimp cover and give it another gentle smash. Then you want to take your cutters, get in as close as you can, and then I'll go in with my nail and tuck that little tail in to the next bead, just like that. So here is the completed strand. And the same method for this strand is used to make every strand. As far as opening it and closing it, the only difference is the order of the beads. So this is actually our focal strand. This is the strand that is in the center. And I have 5 strands in this bracelet. So the next strands that I'm going to show are the outer strands, and I'm going to space them out down here, but they're actually all going to go on the connectors on the side. The next strand, this one right here. So as we can see, same method used to open it, same method to close it. All right, so if you have any questions or you need a reminder on how to open and close, you can always go back to that first strand. So then the order of beads for this strand, I used different flower-shaped bead caps. Then I used the frosted matte black 8mm beads for this one. Then I used the bonus beads, which are the 8mm pressed AB crystal check glass stars. And then this was a simple back and forth all the way across. So this is one of the outer strands. And then the other outer strand, again, same method to open it, same method to close it. And then I used the 6mm matte glass beads. Then I used 3mm spacers. And then I used those matte titanium faceted crystal rondelles. And again, the simple back and forth across the whole strand. So center strand and the 2 outer strands. And then the 2 strands that I have that are on the inside are seed beads. So the thing I like about strands that have seed beads is that they add to the design without adding a lot of bulk to the bracelet. So they're all 8/0 seed beads, and again with the opening and closing, same design. And if you look, I have black, then clear, black, then silver. Black, clear, black, silver. So that is the method that I used all the way across. So that's going to go right here. So for this one, I used the same method as the other seed bead strand, just instead of 1 seed bead, I used 2. So I have clear, black, silver, black, all the way across. And that is the strand that goes here. So again, every strand is the exact same method of opening and closing. It's just a difference of order of the beads. All right, so as so often happens, when I'm making jewelry, sometimes I have something in mind and it doesn't work out the way I thought. So when I put these connectors on and I had them with the clasp and everything, it did not come out right and it wasn't as strong as I would have liked it to be. So if I'm not completely happy with something, I don't like to put it out there. So I decided to not go with this connector. It wasn't quite as stable. When I put it on, it was kind of wobbly and moving. So I didn't like that. So I have decided not to use it, and I'm gonna go with this instead. So it's the same idea. It's a 5-piece connector. but it's a magnet. If you've never used these before, it's got a magnet on one end and the opposite end of the magnet on the inside of the tube there. And on this side, it's got that strip through it. So when you connect these, the loops that are on this side go through that strip on this side. And when it gets close to the other end, you just saw, it's a magnet. So it'll go through and connect. And it's pretty sturdy, so much so that we have to kind of pull it kind of hard. I like the idea that this is one bar where both of the connectors are connecting, so it's pretty sturdy and it doesn't come together at one point in the center. So we're gonna put this one on instead. Same idea with the 5 loops. So first, we're gonna take it apart again. And one thing is very important, if you're using these, you don't want them going in the same direction like this. Okay, so if I connected them like this on either side, when you wrap it back around, you can't put this side in there. So you want to make sure that they are facing opposite directions like this. So when I connect them on either side like this, that way one can go inside of the other to actually make the clasp, okay? Just like that. And I will have these linked below as well. These are pretty awesome clasps. I'm gonna use the jump rings that are on there, go into that first loop, close that jump ring, and then I'm gonna go with the second one in that second loop, close that jump ring. Focal strand goes right in that middle one, close that jump ring. 4th strand, close the jump ring. All right, then the last one. All right, so all 5 are connected on this side. So now, if you have one of these type of clasps, you can go ahead and connect the other ones the same way. Just like I said, make sure those ends are going in opposite directions. All right, that's very, very important. It won't work if it's not that way. So we're gonna connect this side the same way and meet back. All right. So here is the final piece. I've got this side already connected, and then I've connected the opposite side so that when you bring them together, they will connect just like this. I really do enjoy these type of clasps. It's almost like it's a happy accident that it turned out this way. So let me put this on. All right, so here it is. And I am super happy with how this came out. It very, very much a celestial bracelet. I can see that whole night sky theme with the stars and the black and the color spectrum beads. And again, I love the happy accident of this clasp being the one that ended up working. I absolutely love the way that turned out. It's almost it almost makes it where the clasp becomes part of the design. I love it when that happens. There's lots of clasps that are like that, where they kind of add to the presentation of the jewelry piece, as opposed to a clasp that is a lot more functional. Where it kind of is in the background. I like the way this looks. So I will set this up on my display and we'll be able to see it better. All right, so here it is. And after a little bit of trial and error, I am super happy with how it came out. I definitely think I made the right decision to go with the magnet bar clasp. It definitely makes the bracelet a lot more sturdy, and I think it looks much better. So like I said, definitely a happy mistake. I love the way the different strands stack. I think they look really good together. I like with the multi-strand bracelets how I have, I usually try to have a focal strand and then the smaller strands that kind of feed off of it. And like I said, let me flip it to the back here. I really like the way that magnet bar clasp looks. I think it really does add to the design. and it really holds it together really well. And like I mentioned at the beginning, don't forget to check out the description box below. I'll have all the information for Didi's Deluxe Bead Box and the website. And if you place an order on their website, make sure you use my code KC15. Again, that's KASI15, and it'll give you 15% off of about 90% of their website. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.